This video is brought to you by the Pre-Ben iPhone store. It's Random Lift Tours Christmas Special, and this time I'm going to see what central London is like on Christmas Day, and it's Random Lift Tour time. For those of you that don't know, in England there is a tradition of shutting down the entire country on Christmas Day, and a couple of years ago I went around Medway seeing what it is like here on Christmas Day, and Chatham is completely deserted. The entire country literally just shuts down. So then it's Christmas Day, and on my way to central London I stopped off at Bluewater. And on the days running up to Christmas, Bluewater is absolutely jam-packed. It's pretty awful to go shopping here because there's just far too many people. The place is completely chaotic, it's so busy, and on Boxing Day when the sales start, it'll be completely manic, completely busy. It'll be hard to move at all because there will literally be people everywhere. But in between these 2 days on Christmas Day, the place is deserted. And here I come into Bluewater, and they've added barriers to stop people driving in. Okay, that's a bit annoying. And let's just stop here and take a look at the car park. And the place is just empty. And look at a car park. There's a couple of cars in the car park, maybe staff at work here, but apart from that. So let's go on driving along, see if I can get into Bluewater. And at this roundabout here, the way into Bluewater is also blocked. Right then, I was very desperate to get into Bluewater, so I drove the wrong way down the dual carriageway. Naughty! And here we come to the bus station. Hey, where's my bus gone? It's so weird to see this bus station empty. It feels like a completely different place. The atmosphere is just so different. Usually the atmosphere is so manic and lively and people everywhere. It's just empty. Anyone that's been to Bluewater will know what this place is usually like. There's usually people everywhere. And here's another view of the empty car park. And now we go along to the food court. And I left the entrance doors open. I managed to get in. And wow, this place is creepy. They've actually kept the music on, so the music's just blasting out like any other day, but all the people are missing. How bizarre. Why have they got the music on? It's just so weird. And just look at this, where all of the shops are. Deserted, no people. Wow, this is so weird. It's the middle of the day and it's completely empty. So then, now let's take a Christmas Day ride on an Otis automatic lift. And by the way, this is the second use of the term automatic lift. Because automatic lift originally meant, in the early 1900s, a lift that was relay controlled, so you didn't have to use a handle to move it, but just press the button and the lift would go to your floor. But in this lift, this is the modern use of the term automatic lift, which means a lift, when you get in it, the beam says it's detected. You go in and the lift, this goes to your floor, and you don't have to press any buttons. Let's ride it!
Please enter. Please stand clear, the doors are closing. Arriving at Upper now. Please stand clear, the doors are opening. Please enter. Please stand clear, the doors are closing. Please stand clear, the doors are opening. Please enter. Please stand clear, the doors are closing. Arriving at the Lower Mall. Please stand clear.
Right then, let's get on this Christmas Day trip into London, and the next stop is Bromley. And it's not quite as deserted in Bromley as there's a few people hanging about here. But wow, it is still very deserted compared to normal. All of the shops shut, apart from a couple of people, it's almost completely empty. Christmas Day in England is completely weird. It's now story time! Once upon a time, Evil Al was driving in his Evans Lift Alliance car en route to a building to persuade the owner to install one of his shit generics. But en route, despite the fact he was driving the speed limit and keeping up with traffic. Guess what twat decided to undertake him? No, it's the Express Lift Alliance. Wow, who would have known it? The van is an Auckland Express, however the fuck you're supposed to pronounce that, and he's a legally undertaking. It's generic lift company versus generic lift company. So then, now let's carry on into central London. And when you get in towards central London, the roads aren't actually completely empty because there are people about, but compared to normal in London, because the roads in London are usually full of cars and there's usually traffic jams everywhere. So for London, this is really empty, but compared with, say, Medway, it wasn't that empty. So I went into London, and as usual, there's pretty much nowhere to park. But hey, Christmas Day, no parking warrants on Christmas Day. So I parked my car in residents only bay. Naughty. And now it's lunchtime, so let's have my lunch in Soho Square. Hey, no feeding the pigeons? How mean! Oh, sod that! I'm feeding the pigeons anyway. That sign's not going to stop me. Pigeon is hungry. Okay, now we go along to Oxford Street, and unlike most of England, Oxford Street is not actually deserted. Although anyone that knows what London's like will see it's a lot less busy than normal, because usually London's just jammed solid with people, and pretty much everybody here is not English, because the English people in London are either workers who have all got a day off on Christmas, or tourists who won't be in London because they'll be celebrating Christmas. The only people left are foreign visitors on holiday to England. They're probably really baffled at the way everywhere shuts down, because as far as I know, other countries in the world don't completely shut down Christmas Day quite like this. I'm guessing all these people here are a bit bewildered why everything's so closed. And there's a lot of people on Boris's bikes because no buses, not a single bus or train runs on Christmas Day in England. And now here we go along to Oxford Circus, and let's take a look at the underground station. It's closed, an extremely rare sight. And here is Oxford Circus itself. Compared with other places in England, which are usually completely deserted, if you're not used to London, you'd think it was not that much odd with this scene, because there are still people about. But anyone that knows London will know how busy it usually is, and will know how much less busy this is than normal. And now we take a walk along Regent Street, and here's a bus stop. Bus stop closed. There are no buses on Christmas Day. Service resumes 6 AM on Boxing Day. Here is the Apple shop, another rare sight. It's closed. And here is my favourite Regent Street shop, Jaeger, with the awesome 2 meters a second Thyssen lifts, and this is also closed. You can see the roads are pretty empty, but on Christmas Day the roads are not completely deserted because a lot of people still drive to get to their relatives for Christmas, so there's still usually quite a lot of cars on the road, but it's usually the pavements and high streets which are deserted on Christmas Day in England. But in London that's not so much the case. Pretty much every shop is closed here, apart from a couple of cafes and a couple of tourist souvenir shops. So here is Regent Street, looking very different, and it is very odd to see this with no buses about. When do you see Regent Street without a single bus in it? This is the most noticeable thing that is different, because in London the bus service is usually really good and there's buses everywhere. It's like the weirdest thing, the thing you most notice that's missing. And here I am at Piccadilly Circus, and you can see there's still quite a few people here, and the underground station is of course closed. And now let's go along to the Meridian Hotel and along to a nice 2 meters a second eco disc. And now to the next nice 2 meters a second eco disc. And now let's go into the staff-only area of this hotel and into a nice grotty lift which has been modernised to look like an eco-disc. here I am down at the sub-basement. It's spooky down here. Wow, just look at this corridor. And now to the next lift, which is a nice old gated lift, which has been modernised into a leaflet disc. And now, along I go to Trafalgar Square. And since Trafalgar is a very touristy place, all of the foreign tourists are here, but the English tourists aren't here. So there is less people here, but it's certainly not empty. And now we go along to my favourite platform lift. I usually hate platform lifts, but these ones are quite distinctive. And they've got rid of it! Door at the top still there, but if you look down, the lift's gone. And now we go along to Charing Cross train station, which is a bit surprising. I actually thought the gates to us would be open, they'd just be empty and no trains. But no, they've actually properly closed down the station so you can't go in it. So now we go along to the Charing Cross Hotel, which is a very, very posh hotel. I think it's something like £10 for a glass of orange juice in here, ridiculous prices. And here as I look at inside the hotel, it's extremely posh. So you'd expect a decent lift, but no, the lift here is a crap generic. Although it is a very posh generic, it's still a nasty generic, and the way it runs is very uninspiring. And it's starting to be a bit of a trend now, because a lot of posh places are going for posh generics, which is very disappointing, because I this would have hoped the nice posh hotels would have decent lifts, but no, they're installing generics. Generic, 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 generic. Generic, 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 generic. Ichatis, 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 ichatis. No, generic, 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 generic. Mitsubishi. Achoo, disgusting. And now we go along to Covent Garden. And here is Covent Garden. Not really any lifts here to ride, although it's still quite interesting to take a look at it. And here is Covent Garden Station, completely closed. And now, along I go to King's Cross St Pancras. And here's the new station. They've removed that horrible yucky bit on the front, so you can now see the old Victorian front of the station. And the station is closed. But what's interesting is there's trains in here. Seems they're using this station on Christmas Day as a place to dump their trains. Quite interesting. And here's the new side bit of the station which they've recently just built. And now along I go to St Pancras, which is also closed. So now along I go to the very posh St Pancras Hotel. Wow, this hotel is posh. And along I go to the first lifts, which require an RFID card. Bugger! And now along I go to the service lift.
Doors closing. Stand clear, please. Seventh floor. Doors opening.
It's moo cow time! Moo. Moo. And now along I go to the Barbican, which is a maze of high-level walkways. This place is really fun to explore. And let's take a Christmas Day ride on one of my favourites, the really nice Associated Lift Services lift. And now to the next lift, which is a really nice third generation EcoDisc, but sadly it's Dewhurst buttons. And now, here are some of the office buildings at the Barbican. And it's Christmas Day, so they're completely empty. But of course, the security still have to be there, and they kindly agreed to let me ride one of their lifts. Awesome! These buildings were built in the year 2000, and supply of the lifts to these buildings were cone. So as back then, it was back in the era of the first generation EcoDisc, which only went 1 metre a second. But I'd expect these offices to have some really nice cone office series DC, 2 metres a second, or maybe even 4 metres a second. But no, the lifts in this building are actually EcoDiscs, which is a surprise, so it's a bit slow for the height of this building.
Street level.
And along I go to the hotel, which is the Travelodge in City Road. And let's ride the main lifts, which are some nice second generation EcoDiscs. The lift on the right has a bit of a problem as it keeps recalling to the 7th floor. Let's take a look at how this lift keeps recalling. It's quite odd.
Ground floor.
Travelodges are always identical, but this particular Travelodge does have some more interesting and grotty bits if you go through the staff only doors. Alarm door! Travelodge always put alarm door on all of the doors to the service lifts, but the doors are never alarmed. And also a lot of the lighting wasn't working in the service corridors, making it even more spooky. Really spooky staircase. Let's ride the service lift, which is another really nice second generation Ecodisc.
Floor clearance. Going up.
And the next lift is the Fireman's Lift only, a nice second generation Ecodisc.
Seventh floor.
It's now Boxing Day! And I found out this door onto the parapet of the building wasn't locked, so let's take a look out on this balcony parapet. And now I went along to one new change, one of my favourite buildings, because on the roof of this building isn't just another office or an area you can't get to, it's a public area with some cafes, with some awesome 2 meters a second glass, third generation Ecodiscs. Let's ride it! And now we go along to the bright white third generation Ecodisc.
Door closed. Doors open.
And now, on Christmas Day itself, the roads are not usually completely empty, as I said earlier, because people are still driving about. In road, a lot of places are usually empty. But early in the morning on Boxing Day, surprisingly, the roads were deserted. Central London, and the roads are empty. Compare this to what London's usually like, where it's usually non-stop traffic jams. Wow. It's the generic lift factor. The result! And I can reveal to you, the loser in last place, removed pretty much instantly, was the R-Crap stickers. And in 5th place, removed after 6 days, was sadly my favourite, Crap Lifts Limited. And in 4th place, removed after 6 days, is one that looked quite promising, which was tech lifts. And in third place, removed after 6 weeks, was London Lift Services. Our maintenance contract is better than Guideline Lift Services. So, we have 2 contestants left. The Evans Lift Alliance and High Rise Lift Services. And I can reveal to you, in second place, which was torn after 8 weeks, is the Evans Lift Alliance, meaning the winner is High Rise Lift Services. Oh, High Rise Lift Services, you are a real pop star! So, as the winners of the generic lift factor, High Rise Lift Services get to have their advert played at the London Generic Lift Roll Variety Show. And here is their advert. We are High Rise Lift Services, the UK's leading provider in lifts. You will find no better quality lifts than ours anywhere in the world. We install Britain's fastest lifts. There are no other lift companies who install lifts faster than us. Just look at our lifts. Just look at how fucking fast they are. We're so fast. And by fast, I mean the fastest ever lifts of needing replacement after they're installed. So if you want the UK's fastest lifts, which feature dual buttons and every other part of the lift direct from China, then get your lift installed by High Rise Lift Services. Wait a moment, it can't be the end of the video yet. We haven't had fart time yet. You can't have a random lift tour without fart time. That's better.